shows up and does the exact right thing, he can win the fight. If he don't do the right thing, which I don't see him doing, I don't know why he would at this point in his career. I don't know.
Spectacular. You know, I told everybody Terence Crawford's pound for pound #1. Most journalists and writers in the sport have ranked Terence Crawford.
Difficult. He needs to handle and maintain the speed and improve his power. That's what I did. Like, maintain your speed and improve your...
Roy Jones Jr. didn't hold back. He believes Terence "Bud" Crawford would destroy Floyd Mayweather if they ever fought. According to Roy, Crawford's instincts, adaptability, and power would force Floyd out of his comfort zone. He insists Mayweather's perfect record was built on avoiding true challenges, and Crawford is exactly the kind of fighter Floyd never faced.
You're leaning towards Crawford, is that correct?
I'm not saying I'm leaning towards him. I love both guys. Both guys are great fighters. Well, I can't say I'm leaning. I am leaning toward Crawford, I am. And not because Canelo is not a great fighter, but because I don't know. There's a lot of I don't knows about Canelo. You feel me? So I don't know if Canelo's hungry. I know Bud is hungry. Bud stays hungry. I don't know if Canelo's hungry. Bud has never got the recognition what he deserves like Canelo has. You understand me? So Bud is still hungry for that recognition. When you're hungry like that, a determined man, it's very hard to detour.
Jones breaks down Crawford's brilliance, elite ring IQ, mid-fight adaptability, and the rare ability to switch seamlessly between orthodox and southpaw. His setups, feints, and perfect timing make every punch count. Add in lateral movement, sharp footwork, and precision power, Crawford's got the complete package.
Probably in your top 10, maybe even your top 5.
Where do you rank Terence, in your opinion?
I put him in the top 15, maybe the top 10. Because he definitely had the skill of a top 5. Just that he hasn't had the opposition that some guys were able to get. And that's not his fault. He just made one of the best fighters in the weight class look like nobody. That's pretty damn good. Now he proved what we already thought. We just didn't see him against the best opposition near his weight class. See, this is the thing people don't understand. This is what I like about Bud. He reminds me of Roy. We ain't got to have the best opposition in our weight class. We want the best opposition near our weight class.
There's been discussion that maybe, Crawford and Inoue are going back and forth tussling for pound for pound, that maybe Inoue because of the multiple weight divisions. You're shaking your head no. Tell me why no.
Because Inoue also, when he first moved up, he lost to Donan. Don't forget that. Bud ain't lost to nobody. Moving up or down, he moved up 3 times. He lost to nobody. Don't tell me he better than me.
Roy says Crawford is at the peak of his powers, undefeated, versatile, and hungry. At 167.5 pounds, he combines speed, strength, and intelligence in a way that few ever have. Jones believes Crawford's prime form could rewrite boxing's history books.
Ray has been a great fighter his whole career. People like Erislandy Lara gave you the blueprint on how to beat him. People like Floyd Mayweather also gave you the blueprint on how to beat him. But Bud is more fierce, more fearsome, and more angrier, and more meaner than both of those guys. So if they showed you the blueprint, Bud gonna go out there and take that blueprint and do even more with it, which is what Bud did. So it was never a question in my mind whether Bud really was going to outbox me, just if he could take the punch. And right away he showed, bam, he could take the punch. So I knew from that point, if he just slow him down, which he did, he'd be okay. Then late in the fight, what other people still didn't see, late in the fight, Bud started hitting Canelo's body. One of those body shots, I think about the 7th or 8th round, hurt Canelo. I was like, whoa. Bud hit him in the right spot then, and he got Canelo's respect with that too. So Bud fought a very, very awesome fight, fought a beautiful fight, very tactical.
Very controlled.
Yes, it was a beautiful fight for boxing.
It was a beautiful fight. Bud got hit with some shots.
He did. He
got hit with some single shots going out. He's going out, and Canelo, if he has you trapped in the corner or along the ropes, it's typically 1 to 2 big shots. You know that if you've watched him.
Yep.
So you could tell Crawford, as he was going out, he knew the one shot was coming, and several times it landed. He even got hit with a 2-piece. I don't remember what round it was, uppercut right hand that Crawford took well. So when you started seeing him absorb the shots, if you're Team Crawford, you don't want him to take that shot. But if you started seeing that, now you know that, okay. And I think that's what gave Crawford the green light to stay there a little bit longer.
He smiled about it.
Yeah. And sometimes that smile can be a lie, and sometimes that smile can mean what I think it meant for Crawford, which is, oh, that's not as bad as...
Critics, however, question whether fighting Mayweather would damage Crawford's legacy. They argue he's already achieved greatness, beating Spence and Canelo at their best, and shouldn't chase a payday. Many also recall how Floyd's biggest wins came under special circumstances. Canelo was just 22, Pacquiao was injured, and Floyd avoided rematches. By contrast, Crawford's wins have come against elite, prime opponents, making his legacy feel more authentic.
Greater than Terence Crawford. We need to really talk about this now. A lot of you guys are putting Crawford a bit too high. If you want to say Crawford could beat Floyd, I'm more open to that conversation, but when you're lining up the careers, I'm gonna say Floyd every time. While they're both 5 division, Bud has become 3-time undisputed, but he's only fought 10 world champions to Floyd's 25 world champions. You can't take away the 5 division, 3-time undisputed. In terms of accolades, yeah, he probably gets the nod over Floyd. I say their accolades are about relative, considering Floyd Mayweather won Fighter of the Decade as well. But when you get to the resumes, Pacquiao, Oscar, Canelo, Cotto, Mosley, Castillo, Marquez, Zab, Gotti, Hatton, and Corley. There's probably way more people that this guy just didn't name. And then when you get to Bud's resume, not saying it's just bad, but the only names that's really worth mentioning is going to be Spence and Canelo. It's not a knock on Bud. Bud was not able to make those fights early on in his career. But I got to tell you guys what it is. Bud's resume just doesn't line up with Floyd's. Take their top 20 wins. Bud don't even got 20 wins to really sit here and name. Floyd got a good 20 something plus. Bud probably got about 15, 10 wins that we could really sit here and...
Roy and Floyd share mutual respect, but their rivalry runs deep. Roy claims he was more naturally gifted and dominant across weight classes, while Floyd insists his undefeated record and business genius make him the best ever. Their feud is more about legacy than fighting, 2 legends competing for immortality.
What's happening, fight fans around the world? I know how y'all are. I know y'all enjoy this thing of boxing. I know we play games and people have their issues and people have opinions. It's cool too. I got opinions and I'm allowed to say my opinions or speak my opinions. And if somebody was trying to send me a subliminal message, it works. Because if you want to prove that you're better than me, I'm always ready. Wide open, ready to go. Just call me.
Jones clarifies that Floyd's best ever status might only apply financially, not technically. He insists it's not disrespect, it's just the truth as he sees it.
Is something that you want to elaborate on, or is there something that maybe you don't like about Floyd?
One thing I don't like is that you don't respect elders. You talk about Muhammad Ali got beat by an 8-0 fighter. That 8-0 fighter was an Olympian who was a monster, who, if you had a monster like that in your weight class, you wouldn't fight him at that time. You understand where I'm coming from? So, that being said, you're disrespecting the greatest fighter of all time. And if you disrespect him, you're disrespecting anybody. So you have no respect. But when you see me, you're gonna have some respect. Because if you want to get it, we can get it. I'm willing to go earn my respect.
But I didn't hear you say anything disrespectful about Floyd.
I never do. I'm not the disrespectful type of guy. That's not who I am. I'm the type of guy. The reason I'm not disrespectful is because when I say something, I'm ready to die for it. So if I say this, I'm willing to die for this. You understand me?
You stand on it.
I stand on it. You understand me? I'm not, like I said, I don't think LeBron is not a great player. I'm not one of the greatest players of all time. But if you ask me, in your opinion, my opinion, which I'm entitled to, you think LeBron or Mike, I'm gonna say Mike because I saw what Mike went through to get where he got. So I got my own reason why I'm gonna probably like Mike. I'm not saying just you're trash. No, you're not. I'm not saying you're not a great player.
Right.
I'm not saying you're not one of the top 5. Because you could beat it, you feel me? And in most people's opinion, you probably are. Some people's opinion, you probably top 1. That's not, I can't say, oh, I'm right and everybody's wrong. No, that's just my opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion. But I will fight about my opinion. So if you got a problem with my opinion, whoever, call my house. It ain't changed.
Roy doesn't even rank Mayweather in his personal top 5. He might make the top 10, Roy says, but too many of Floyd's biggest wins came against past prime opponents. Beating a weakened Pacquiao years after his peak doesn't hold the same value in Roy's eyes.
Floyd Mayweather top 5?
No, not in my book. No,
not even top 10?
Maybe top 10 in my book, yeah, not top 5. Maybe top 10, but not top 5. Floyd can fight, don't get it wrong. Floyd can fight. But here's what my problem is. Well, I understand, I know you're a Floyd fan, but here's my problem. Who did Floyd fight that was on his level when he fought? Only Canelo. That's it. Don't give me that stuff about the other guy that was going to prison. He know he going to prison when he get through. And then to take it even further. Cotto was not on his level. Wait. See, stop. Let me finish first. Cotto.
You asked me a question.
Cotto already was done. And is Cotto an all-time great? No. Cotto's an all-time Puerto Rican great. Cotto is not an all-time great in boxing.
I agree with you.
He's an all-time Puerto Rican great.
agree.
All right, so that's not a great fight. That's not on your level. Pacquiao, you waited till Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez before you fought him. If you'd have fought him 4 years ago, it'd have been something. Because both of y'all were here. We'd have found out who the best was. You waited till Marquez knocked him out, now you fought him. If I wait till somebody beat James Toney before I fight him, do I get credit for being the greatest fighter of all time because I beat James Toney?
No, you don't.
No, I don't. So my point is, you didn't do it the right way. You know that. Who else did you fight besides them biggest, best 2 names you can pull up besides Canelo?
What I'm saying is that who do you think around that time would have even beaten Floyd that he didn't fight?
So my point is, I'm not gonna say who
Because
would
I can't name a person.
I'm not gonna say who would have beat Floyd. Like I said, I'm just saying Floyd never fought nobody that was up. He didn't fight a James. He didn't go look him.
Jones also warned Floyd against stepping into MMA, saying it'd be dangerous and unfair. Floyd's 150 pounds, I'm 220, I'd hurt him, Roy said, stressing that MMA involves tools Floyd's never dealt with. Many veteran boxers, though, are siding with Crawford in this mega fight debate.
Like it if we kept it to MMA fighters trying out boxing. I think it's a lot safer for an MMA fighter to try out boxing. If you get a boxer inside the octagon, man, there's so many elements that they're unfamiliar with. The head kicking, and the body kicking, and the choking, and the arm bending, and the ankle twisting, and all that. It's a lot, and it can be really dangerous for Floyd to join an MMA match. So I would suggest he reconsider.
Would you want to fight him?
Floyd Mayweather? Floyd Mayweather weighs like 150. I'm like 220. I'll hurt.
Commentator Jim Lampley compared Crawford to Sugar Ray Robinson, praising his balance, counterpunching, and explosive precision, traits rarely seen since Robinson's era.
Floyd had a lot of craft that mimicked some of the things that Sugar Ray did. So does Terence. And Terence is psychologically a latter-day Sugar Ray Robinson. He has the same kind of capacity to be charming and then in the next 30 seconds to turn on his fire. And that, I think, is part of what he's going to take into the ring against Canelo.
David Benavidez believes Crawford belongs on boxing's Mount Rushmore, citing his triple undisputed titles, unbeaten record, and dominance across weight classes. His win over Canelo, Benavidez says, seals his place among the all-time greats.
Give Terence Crawford a great congratulations. You know, he's reached a part in history that only so many fighters get to even accomplish in boxing. You know, he's one of the greatest of all time. There's nothing, you can't take that away from him. Terence Crawford should be on the Mount Rushmore in boxing because not only did he go up 3 weight classes, he beat one of the best fighters of this generation. I don't remember any time in history where anybody has come up from 147 pounds and won the super middleweight championship. Not only just won, but the undisputed. He's won every single title. So, you know, man, that man, not only is he a great fighter, but you could tell in that fight by seeing this combination right now how much of a dog he is. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of fighters could take a lot of notes from Terence Crawford, not only physically, but as take notes in the heart aspect. And I give it all up to Terence Crawford. You know, he's one of the greatest of all time. And, you know,
Shane Mosley argues that today, Crawford edges Floyd as the more complete boxer, stronger, longer reach, more adaptable, and deadlier from both stances. He praises Mayweather's defense but believes Crawford's aggression and versatility give him the upper hand.
With Canelo and Mayweather, you fought them both. Who did you think was better, Canelo or Mayweather? I know that's Canelo was saying it was Crawford better than Mayweather.
I was very impressed with Canelo at 21, but Mayweather was still technically more sound. I think Crawford is better. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. But Mayweather is definitely a technician. I mean, it's, like Crawford said, you know, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is there.
Virgil Ortiz Jr. also calls Crawford one of the greatest ever but sees himself as a real threat. Since becoming undisputed at super middleweight, Crawford's dominance has scared off top fighters. Many avoid him, fearing defeat or style mismatches.
Mindset, they're really confident, they really believe in themselves, but you need more than that mindset. You need to have the full package of everything that I'm talking about what Floyd has got.
Fighters should only want to get better. The more you win, the more you should work hard. If you think about losing, you're going to lose. All I ever thought about was winning. So that's all I know.
Floyd would visualize his success before he even stepped into the ring. There was no alternative to him but winning. And this mindset isn't just for boxing, it's for all walks of life. And I've actually done a full video talking about how I used this mindset of visualization to win my Olympic medal. And it was an absolute game changer. Now, Floyd used to use this mindset to ease the pressure that he put himself under, and he made himself think like, I'm not under any pressure right now, where he was under immense pressure.
Pressure either makes you or break you. Well, you see where I'm at, so it's obvious that I'm the type of athlete, or I'm the type of entertainer that can deal with pressure. There's never no pressure.
Now, if you watch his fight in 2013, when he fought Canelo Alvarez, Canelo came in a young, strong, undefeated fighter, but by round 2, Floyd kind of had him figured out. He was reading Canelo's jab. He would slip outside and then come back with a clean counter punch, then move his feet and get out of the way. He basically had the full fight under control, and he was controlling the full rhythm of the fight. He was forcing Canelo to fight at his pace. And this is what he would do in all of his fights. He would get his opponent to do what he wanted them to do without their opponent even realizing it, which is what we call boxing IQ. Now, even though I'm not a fan of Floyd Mayweather personally, because of the time when I did meet him, what he said to me...
Goodness, I said that was gonna happen. If Crawford was to win, we're gonna be seeing a lot of these debates on whether or not Floyd Mayweather or Terence Crawford is gonna be better. Now, this is gonna be a debate for a long, long time. I'm talking about one of those debates like LeBron versus MJ, Messi versus Ronaldo. It's one of those. And the thing is, I can get behind it. Let me go ahead and say this. When it comes to resume, I do think we give Floyd Mayweather the edge. I mean, he beat a bunch of champions. He reigned for a long time. While Crawford, his resume is heavily criticized, and he's just not getting, his kind of respect for beating Errol Spence and Canelo Alvarez. But if we're talking strictly off of skills, this is where things get really, really tough to talk about. I think a fair assessment of this matchup would be Floyd Mayweather wins from 135 and 140, while Crawford wins from 147 to 154. And I say that because I feel like Floyd's style changed once he got to welterweight. He became a more defensive fighter, and he just wasn't as much focused on offense. And knowing this, I feel like Crawford would have had a much better chance of handling him. And we all know, Crawford was an absolute monster at welterweight. But hey, man, like I said, this is going to be a debate for a very long time. I can't wait to hear all the talk about it. But I'm curious on your thoughts. Who you think wins in the fight, Floyd or Terence Crawford? Let's talk about it, and follow me for more Boston Talk.
Still, some analysts defend Floyd. They credit his mental warfare, confidence, discipline, and psychological control as the true source of his greatness.